Here at Malloy, we often get asked on how to select the best PID macro for the ACS 580. We're going to take a look at that and also the 4 different types of PID macros available to you. The first macro available is the hand PID. This has 2 control modes. Hand, which uses start-stop on digital input 1 and an analog input 1 for your speed reference. And then also it has the PID mode, which utilizes digital input 6 for your start-stop. And then analog input 2 is your actual feedback value. Analog input 1 then becomes your set point. The second macro is the PID macro. The set point comes from the potentiometer on analog input 1. Analog input 2 is your actual feedback from a sensor. And then digital input 1 is your start-stop, and digital input 5 is your run-enable. The third option is the panel PID, which is the more simple of all the macros because it uses the set point from the keypad and not analog input 1. Analog input 2 is reserved for your feedback sensor, and digital input 1 would be your start-stop. The fourth and final option is the PFC, or pump fan control macro. This is for when you have multiple motors and only one VFD. The VFD can control the other motors by start-stopping them when it needs to hold the set point. The set point comes from analog input 1, and analog input 2 is reserved for your feedback. Digital input 6 is then your start-stop. Relay output 3 is reserved for your output to kick on your second motor. Once you have determined what macro is best for your application, let's go to Menu, Parameters, Complete List, scroll down to Group 96 System, and then 9604 Macro Select. Select the macro you'd like to use and click Save. And that's how you select the correct macro for your application. If you have any questions, please visit our website or give us a call.